I live in central BC, Canada. That's a rather odd place. You see, I'm on a farm of sorts. It isn't your average farm because the animals all talk. This only happened recently. There was a time when none of the animals spoke, but today they all do. Well, they sort of have to. It's the times, you know. The entire area has become a post-democracy, and all the humans need to watch their words. So none of us can speak anymore. I'm human, you see. But the animals are free to. Everything was fine here in Canada for a long time. That is, until an ill wind blew through the place. I'll call them storms, really. One was called C11, and the other C18. There had been a lot of others too. I'm not sure exactly which it was, perhaps all of them in combination? I'm not sure, but they took away the humans' ability to speak, and granted it to the animals. It's a funny sensation when you lose your speech. It's happening all over the world right now, and is somewhat terrifying to see. It isn't something any of us thought could ever happen, but it has. You see, here in Canada, there was this fancy piece of paper with important words written on it that was meant to keep all this from happening. As it turns out, however, pieces of paper aren't worth much unless people are willing to read and follow them. Anyway, that is all history now. The paper looks nice, but it isn't worth anything. I expect it is even too coarse to wipe an ass with. None of this is what I mean to tell you about, however, so I'll get into my story now. I woke up the other day to a large commotion taking place on my farm. I wasn't sure what was going on. I could tell it was the ostriches. Their voices are very unique. They were running around in a panic, and I couldn't get any of them to stand still long enough to get an answer out of them. But I could see they were very upset. The pigs run the farm, as is natural to them. I believe it's due to their Assyrian nature. I saw old Carnival watching with a wry smile curled up under his snout. I knew something terrible must be going on, since he only smiles when an animal is in a lot of trouble. Carnival is an old pig that arrived only recently from Europe. I call him Carnival because that is where he worked in some kind of financial capacity. I'm not sure what role he played exactly, but I was told that. And also that whatever it was, he was very bad at it, which is why the carnival had to send him here. I can't remember exactly the name of it. I believe it was the World European Fair, or something like that. Oh yeah. And he did stuff for a central bank, whatever that is. Apparently, he worked in Canada at the same job too. I'm told he wasn't any good at it here either. Well, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that when pigs fail, they get promoted. Anyway, it is never a requirement of pigs that they be good at a job. They just need to be greedy and corrupt, a thing they are all very good at. So he came to my farm and took over, as pigs are wont to do. I knew he would know why the ostriches were upset, and so I went up to ask him. Did I mention I could talk to animals? Apparently, according to Carnival, there were some pigs down south that had decided to murder a great many ostriches. He said it had gotten them into a big flap. Leave it to old Carney, I call him that sometimes, to find humor in something so horrid. It is just the nature of pigs, I suppose. I watched him as they ran around frightened. He was amused, but I certainly wasn't. It turns out pigs like killing humans too. They have murdered a lot of us over the last few years. I mean, really a lot. Look it up. They call it maids. It really seems to be a thing they enjoy doing. Luckily, they can only kill us if we agree to it, for now. Pigs never do things they want for themselves. They would never get their hands dirty like that. Oh no. And besides, such a thing would too closely resemble labor. No, they get their animals to do it for them. The animals for which such things are in their nature, like wolves, and the like. I suppose it was wolves after the ostriches now. I mean, who else would do such a thing? I finally got to talk to one of the ostriches. Her name was Melinda, and she's a fine old bird. She is likely the smartest of the ostriches, or should I say, the least likely to bury her head in the sand anyway. And for this reason, I knew what she told me was likely the truth. You have to be careful on the farm. No, wait, that's not right. Everything you hear is lies these days. You know, because of the storms and all. She was a good source, a real rebel, you might say. It turns out the pigs had made up another disease and were using it as an excuse, again, to murder. But this time they were after birds instead of people. Like last time, it's a long story, I will have to tell you one day. Melinda told me none of the birds tested positive for the disease. I knew the birds were in trouble upon hearing that. You see, pigs like saying not testing positive is one of the symptoms. Pigs are extremely diabolical. She was upset because she knew some of them and was related to others. I could understand why she was upset. I was upset when they tried the same thing on my friends and family. The llamas stepped in and put a temporary stop to the whole killer campaign. You see, llamas run the courts and occasionally follow that slip of paper I was telling you about. They don't do it very often, unfortunately. They aren't supposed to apply it, you see, if the pigs think it might disrupt their plans. Also, the pigs have a way around it. They can use something called the notwithstanding clause. I guess that's something they give to the wolves so they can completely ignore the paper. Whenever the pigs wish them to, that is. I'm not sure why anyone wrote the piece of paper in the first place, if they put clause like that in it. Did I mention a pig wrote the paper? That's probably why. My story, unfortunately, doesn't have a happy ending. One of the llamas decided the other llamas were wrong and decided to let the pigs have at the ostriches after all. The ostriches tried to appeal to the highest llamas in the land, but they were bored and didn't feel like hearing their cases. All the ostriches are gone now. The pigs didn't do anything, of course. They got their wolves to do the deed. The wolves enjoyed themselves. I miss the ostriches. I wonder when the wolves will be coming after us. Will the llamas feel like hearing our cases? They didn't last time.